Here we go with a new Halo line of action figures, produced this time by Jazwares, or to be more correct, Wicked Cool Toys, which is under the banner of Jazwares now because the company got bought out by them. Anyway, with that said, this is their 4-inch scale, quotations, World of Halo scale action figures. And we're going to take a look at this incredible 2-pack here from the Halo Infinite series. This is Master Chief and the Brute Chieftain. So let's go ahead and move these figures aside for a moment so we can take a look at the packaging as partake of every single video review on this channel. Up close in your face, and it's pretty bland, to be honest. I mean, you got the Halo logo here, you got the official new World of Halo scale right there in quotations. You got Master Chief here from Halo Infinite with his 117 logo right there. We've got Halo Infinite, the logo for the video game that's coming out soon. Master Chief, Brute Chieftain, not much else to really say, except they do give you an indication of what weapons they come with. Yes, both figures come with one weapon each. So we have the Hydra Launcher and the Gravity Hammer. That one I knew already because of, you know, previous Halo games, of course. Ages 8 and plus, not much else to really say. On this side here, we just got Halo Infinite. Up here we got UNSC. On the other side, it's the UNSC logo with Halo down here and Halo Infinite. UNSC right there on the back of the packaging, and to my surprise, there's no promotion of the figures, there's no details, there's no bio, there's nothing like that. It's just Master Chief from Halo Infinite running into who knows what, maybe into combat or something. There's no interest here in the back. It's nice artwork, but that's all it is. It's just Master Chief running. There's no promotion for the figures, there's no bio for the characters. There's no indications of what other figures are consistent in this wave, and it's just unfortunate. Just maybe Wicked Cool Toys will show a little more love for the back of the packaging and maybe promote their figures, which is what you really want. Officially done with this packaging, which is really huge. Compared to the figures that you saw earlier in this review, this box is way too big. Anyway, yeah. You're paying a lot for the cardboard rather than the figures, so let's bring them in. This is about a $20 price point set for 2 figures that do have a great amount of articulation. It's in comparisons to Jazwares Fortnite 4-inch figures, so there really is no complaining about the articulation, but we'll go through all that in detail. First of all, let's take a look at Master Chief here, which is the main attraction of this line, no offense. So, yep, here he is from Halo Infinite. Looks good. There's his, I gotta look at the packaging again, Hydra Launcher. Okay, Hydra, yeah, Hydra, Hell Hydra, right. Ooh, it really does make it pop with the highlights of the silver all around. And they didn't skip a beat on the paint application. It looks great. It's fantastic. This is something that I really got to look forward to with their Spartan collection. Well, then I'm really going to be intrigued. This looks amazing. I just love the way that this figure turned out here, especially with the attention to detail at the bottom of the shoes. Look at that. They actually put detail into the shoes. You will focus, camera. Yeah. And of course, we got peg holes for their included stands here. So we'll go ahead and put Master Chief on here, and you can see that if I have him kicking in the air, he's going to stand up pretty good. These are very secure, hold in place great. Not so much on the Brute Chieftain, but we'll get to him in just a moment. Anyway, let's take a look at the stand. I don't know what this is. I guess it's just like a platform of crumbled up rocks or something that's flat, which doesn't make any sense. But it does have some nice weathering to it. It's a little bit of some touch up in browns here, which of course this is done out of green plastic here. No information on the bottom. It kind of looks a little 3D printed in a way, and that's kind of odd because you can kind of see there's these like little lines going through it. A really odd choice, but I mean, it does work. You can actually peg these 2 pieces together here, or any other stands that you have throughout this line. It's a very nice World of Halo thing, and for some reason it can be done, but it really takes a lot of force on my figure stands here. It's just something that really ugh, I just can't get. I mean, I got it before, but now I just can't get it. No matter what side I try, it's the same result. It just really doesn't want to go in there. But it can be done. I've done it before, but for some reason I can't do it now. Anyway, that's it for the stand. So what do you say we go ahead and take a look at this Hydra Launcher here? Looks cool. I don't know if this is a new weapon that is pretty much going to debut in the Halo Infinite game. I could be wrong. There are multiple weapons throughout the entire franchise, and this is one of them that I do not recognize. So if I am wrong, that's just me. So anyway, yeah, Master Chief also has a very nice metallic painted gold visor for his helmet, which does have a little bit of some overspray right there. You can see it, and it's okay. I mean, I'm not expecting perfection for something so small. The fact that they actually put a lot of detail work into something this tiny is very good. And you know, the funny thing is, Master Chief is supposed to be a big figure, so if they are going by full-on scale with this here, this 4-inch line of figures, that means every other figure that comes out under the UNSC team is going to be a lot smaller than Master Chief, and they're going to be like 3 inches or something. That's going to be very hard to really detail, but if they can pull it off, I'm going to be impressed. Anyway, let's go ahead and remove this. We do have a peg right there that can go into the hole in the back here of his armor, like so. Oh no, I bended it. I've never done this before, to tell you guys the truth. This is the first time I'm actually doing this, especially on camera. And it's in there, but it doesn't really flush as it should. It should lay flat with his backpack, and it doesn't. Oh well. You can also see that he does not have any additional peg holes on the sides here with his hips, so you can't actually peg this in anywhere else. But then again, that would be like a little pistol that he would put there. Not really something this big. And I'm just going to put it back in his hands because it doesn't really hold in place. Let's go about the articulation on Master Chief. He does have a ball joint at the head. He's got some pin discs at the shoulders. That does get a little hindrance by his shoulder armor, but what are you going to do? Got full 360 rotation. You got a swivel joint above the elbow. You got your single jointed elbow that does get 90 degrees of bend at the most. You got rotation here at the wrist. There's also a hinge joint that goes up and down, so he can hold his weapon in a much more natural position. Natural? What's wrong with me? Natural position, just like the Star Wars Black Series figures and their blasters. Anyway, we do have a ball jointed upper torso. We do have rotation at the waist, but it's very restricted by just this crotch piece. So again, what are you gonna do? It is what it is. We do have ball joints at the hips. That does get this much kicking forward at the legs, and that much going back until it splits because of the back armor piece. And then we've got our full JCVD split, so there's your seal quality, which is nice. We have thigh swivel cut, double jointed knees, which some people have complained looks very odd with how much the knee, it's just, look at how big that is. But you know what, it's an action figure, all right? It's a toy. It's just the way it is, so deal with it. Other than that, we have up and down movement here on some ratchets for the feet, and we also have some ankle rocker movement, but depending on the way it's actually positioned, you can get some better movement out of it than I can. It's not on par with Marvel Legends, but it is there, so it's pretty good, right? So that's Master Chief. Let's take a look at the Brute Chieftain that's this 2-pack comes with now. First of all, let's just go ahead and take a look at his gravity hammer. It's on par with all the other design gravity hammers throughout the game franchise, so yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of some paint here. It's done in this metallic gunmetal gray here, so at least it's not like, you know, just solid gray plastic, which would have looked dull. This actually looks pretty good. Little specks of red here for this bit, and some here, which is nice. So yeah, and the figure does hold it pretty good. So, single-handed, yep, looks good. Alright, and my one complaint I've got about the Brute Chieftain is that his helmet as you can kind of see, is a little bit of a loose fit here, and it does come off very easily, but at least the good news is it did actually sculpt the entire head here, so you can actually see everything that this figure has to offer from his head underneath the helmet, and that looks really good, especially with the eyes. With how small this figure is, the fact that they actually painted him in pretty crisp and clean, I'm impressed. Nice. And the armor does have some weathering to it, which is a nice touch, just like Master Chief, so they spare to no expense. I mean, yeah, you're paying a lot for small 4-inch figures here, which do have loads of articulation and a great amount of paint application, so there's really no reason to complain about the price, except the package is just way too big for these things. Anyway, look at this armor. This is very nice. And this isn't your butterscotch color gold. This is actually a very nice gold plastic that they're using for all these individual parts, which are glued in place, which really does make this pop. I like the way this figure turned out. It's very impressive. Now, I do have to mention a little bit of some QC issue here with this figure. He does have a tendency to be loose in some places here. Like, it's not extremely loose, as you can see. It does hold just fine as I'm wiggling him around, but it's just, I mean, as I move his legs, they do feel a little loose, just not as loose, so he does hold a position pretty good. It's just, it feels weird to me, alright? Yours, my tongue quit. Your results could be different. Anyway, let's go through the articulation on the guy now. He does have a ball joint at the head. He's got a pinned disc shoulder joint, which is also restricted, just like Master Chief, because of the armor. We do get full 360 rotation. We do. It will go. There you go. And we have also that swivel above the elbow joint. The elbow only gets 90 degrees of play here, which works kind of better than Master Chief in my opinion. We have rotation at the wrist. We have the hinge joint for inward and outward movement instead of up and down. So, you know, he doesn't have a blaster, so I can understand why they went with that decision. Anyway, we do have a ball jointed upper torso, which is kind of restricted because of the sculpting of this figure. It is what it is. I don't see any way they could have put in a swivel joint around the waist section. Anyway, we do have ball joints at the hips. Get this much kicking forward, that much going back, which is impressive. You can't get a full JCVD split, not even close. And it's also because there's also the hindrance of the armor bits here. Still pretty good kick, but it's just not, it's no JCVD. Anyway, we do have the thigh swivel cut. We have double jointed knees, which is restricted because of the armor, so you can only really get 90 degrees of bend there. We do have up and down movement at the feet, which also has kind of an ankle rocker movement, and that's about it. So we say we put this helmet back on the figure to complete the look here and give him back his weapon now. And we really don't have to go through any size comparisons because, as you can see, we've already kind of done it throughout this video review, as Master Chief is standing side by side the Brute Chieftain this whole entire time. So you can get an idea of this world of Halo. If you guys want to see another size comparisons real quickly, I have a little friend here that happened to pop in during my video, so my apologies if I stuttered for a moment, but here's a Fortnite figure in comparison to Master Chief and the Brute Chieftain. So as you can see, this is probably going to be the same size as the UNSC Marines figure. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be very impressive if they can keep up with making the scale as accurate as possible for a 4-inch line of figures. And in my honest opinion, so far, minus this big box here, these figures are totally worth it. Alright, there could be room for improvements, especially with these removable pieces here. I mean, that's very loose. Maybe it's just my release, your results can be different, but as it is, this could also be a standard issue with these figures, and at this small scale, I don't understand why they didn't just glue this in place. I mean, do we really need to see all that detail on the back? Maybe so. Oh well, it is what it is. I can glue it myself if I want to. Other than that, I like these figures. I'm going to continue purchasing this line of Halo figures, and I can't wait to review the Warthog set for you guys in the next video. So if you have any questions or comments, you know the do, hit down below in the comment section of the video. If you like today's video review, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to give me a sub up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. Don't forget to throw in the towel. And until next time, my friends, this is your unprofessional toy reviewer, Red's Power, signing off saying thank you very much for watching this, and I will see you whenever you see me.